So,
So,
good afternoon to all. My seminar topic is hermaphroditism. So, a hermaphrodite is any organism that has a complete or partial reproductive organs. That is, a single organism produces both the male and female gametes. So, that is, in short, we could describe a hermaphrodite or a hermaphroditic organism as one which has both male and female reproductive organs being present in the same organism. And those organisms or those individuals exhibiting this phenomena or exhibiting this condition or are called hermaphrodites, and this phenomena is known as hermaphroditism. And in those group or in those organism showing this phenomena, it is actually a normal condition which enable those organism, that is those hermaphrodite organism, a form of sexual reproduction, because this phenomena or this condition helps or contains or helps an individual to act as both as female as well as a male. And this phenomena is being seen in many organisms such as earthworms, slugs, tunicates, etc. And it is also been found in some species of fishes and also in some vertebrate groups. So, hermaphrodite is an organism which has both male and female reproductive organs being present in the same organism. So now let's discuss some of the categories of hermaphrodites. First one is sequential hermaphrodites. Sequential hermaphrodites are those where an individual is born as one sex and then later it changes its sex into the opposite group. For instance, an individual or an organism may be born as a male organism, and later, after a fixed period of time, it may change its sex into female organism. And then again, after a fixed period of time, it changes its sex into male. And the sequence or this process continues. That is, it changes into male and female, again and male and female. The sequence continues. But some sequential hermaphrodites can change their sex only once. That is, once they are, that is, if the individual or the organism is born as male, and after once it changes its sex into a female organism, then it remains as the female organism throughout its life. That is, it can't come back, or it can't come back or change its sex again into a male organism. So that is being called as sequential hermaphrodites. So now let's discuss some of the subdivisions or subcategories of sequential hermaphrodites. First one is protandry. Protandry is a condition where an organism is born as a male and then later it changes its sex into a female. So the organism or the individual is born as a male and then later it changes its sex into a female. Those individuals or those organism is known as protandry. Now let's discuss one of the example of this protandry. The clownfish. Clownfish are actually colorful fish. I will show you the image. So these are the clownfish, and every group of clownfish actually comprises a few members. That is, each group of clownfish comprises a large reproductive female and one large reproductive female, one smaller size reproductive male, and one smaller size non-reproductive male. So the group of a clownfish comprises of few members. That is, each group comprises of a larger reproductive female, a smaller reproductive male, and a smaller non-reproductive male. And by chance, if the female organism is being removed from the group, the smaller sized reproductive male will change its sex into the female organism, and the other male organism, that is the smaller non-reproductive male organism, will increase its size and become, no, doesn't increase its size, it will change into a reproductive male. So, in this condition, we could see the phenomena that a male organism is changing its sex into a female organism. So, this is what happens in protandry. That is, an organism is born as male and then somehow it changes its sex into female. So, this is the first category of sequential hermaphrodites. Then next one is protogyny. Protogyny will always is the opposite of protandry. That is, the individual or the organism is born as a female and then it changes its sex into a male organism. So, as an example, let's consider a case of races. Races are actually bright colored fish, and here we can see the image of a race. Uh, and actually, races have a unusual life history. That is, it contains, the group of races actually contains two morphs, that is, two male morphs or two kinds of males exists in this group. That is, an initial phase male and a terminal phase male. But this initial phase males actually, they won't have a characteristics or they won't have an appearance of the exact male groups. That is, the initial phase males are always found around this female groups. That is, they always swim around this female groups. That is, they always swim around this female groups. That is why they are also known as female males. But this terminal phase male groups are shows the characteristics of males, and exactly they are the male category or male members of this races. And these individuals are individuals are born as either as males or as females. But if they are born as females or initial phase males, if the individuals are born as females or initial phase males, they will, after a time span or after a fixed period of time, they changes their sex into terminal phase males, that is to the exact male category. But the individuals or organisms or the fish groups that are born as terminal phase males will not change their sex and they remain as the exact male members or male members. So, in this example, we could see that a male or that a female organism, that a member that has been born as a female, changes its sex into a male organism. So, this is what happens in protogyny. So, the next category of sequential hermaphrodites are bidirectional sex exchanges. So, bidirectional sex exchanges are those organisms where both male and female reproductive organs are present at the same time and they act as either male or as female depending upon their stages or depending upon the environmental condition. So, bidirectional sex exchanges are those organisms where both male and female sex or reproductive organs are present at the same time and they act as male or female depending upon the conditions, environmental conditions, or depending upon the developmental stages. So, as an example, let's consider the case of Lithargnus dali, which are actually a group of coral reef fishes. In this group of fishes, they have the presence of both male and female organs, that is, reproductive organs, at the same time, but based on the social status. That is, if the fish expresses a subordinate behavior if the means if the fish is in its developmental stage or if the fish is not been completely developed, that is, if the fish is been in subordinate behavior, then it changes its sex into female or it act as a female. But if the fish expresses a dominant behavior, that is, if the fish is been completely developed, it acts as a male or it changes its sex into male. So we could see here that depending upon the social status or depending upon the condition, the fish, that is Litharpus dali, is exhibiting or acting as a male or female. This is the situation, or this is the condition of bidirectional sex exchanges. That is, both male and female organs are present at the same time, but depending upon the condition, they act either as male or as female. So now let's move on to the next category of hermaphrodites, that is simultaneous hermaphrodites. Simultaneous hermaphrodites are those where an adult organism has both male and female sexual organs present at the same time. Simultaneous, the word itself means simultaneous, both being present at the same time. That is, organism having both male and female organs present at the same time. And since it has both male and female organs being present at the same time, there are chances for fertilization, self-fertilization, sorry, not fertilization. There are chances for self-fertilization to occur. Now, let's consider an example. Actually, earthworms are an excellent example for simultaneous hermaphrodites. So, in case of earthworms, even though they have both ovaries and testes present at the same time, there is some protective mechanism operating in their body that prevent their self-fertilization. And in them, sexual reproduction occurs when two worms meet each other. It has been shown in this image that two earthworms, when they meet each other, they reproduce, they undergoes fertilization or sexual reproduction occurs. And after fertilization, the fertilized eggs are being protected by a cocoon and it is been buried on or near the surface of the ground. So this is what happens in simultaneous hermaphrodites. Both sexual organs, that is both of male and female, are being present at the same time. The next one is pseudohermaphroditism. Pseudohermaphroditism is a condition where an organism is being born with the primary sexual characters of one sex, but later it develops the secondary sexual characters of other sex. That is, for instance, if an organism is being born as a male, it develops the primary sexual characters of a male organism. But later, during its developmental stage, it may develop the secondary sexual characters of a female organism. And so this condition has been contrasted again the term true hermaphroditism. And we know that true hermaphroditism is a condition where the organism contains, or organism has both male and female reproductive organs present in the same organism. But in case of pseudohermaphrodites, it contains primary sexual characters of one sex, and during its developmental stage, it develops the secondary sexual characters of other sex. So, if the pseudohermaphrodite contains a testis, or if the testis is present, those individuals are called male pseudohermaphrodites. And if an ovary is present, they are termed as female pseudohermaphrodite. So next one is hermaphrodite in case of humans. Actually, the term hermaphrodite in older days or in older literature was also used to describe any human beings, that is any person whose physical characters do not neatly fit into male or female classification. That is, the term hermaphrodite in context of humans was also used to describe ambiguous genitalia or gonadal mosaicism. But the term hermaphroditism was quite misleading or stigmatizing in context of humans, because it felt some sort of disagreements around worldwide. So the term hermaphrodite for the usage of humans was stopped or was discontinued, and another term called, or another word called intersex came into the usage came into the usage for humans. So intersex peoples are those individuals which are actually born with several variations in sex characteristics. They are individual born with not with actually they are not being considered as any deficiency, but as sexual several variations in sex characteristics, such as variations in their chromosomes, variations in their gonads, sex organs, or genitalia. And as per the UN Office of High Commissioner for Human Rights, intersex people are referred to as those who do not fit into the typical or usual definitions of male or female bodies. So, actually, the hermaphrodite, the term has been in older days or in older literature was also used in case of males, but due to some misleading or due to disagreements around the world, the term was transferred or the term was changed into another word called intersex. So by this, I am ending my seminar. Thank you.